it's too bad you guys didn't get to meet Manu, because he's a good guy. He's a friend of mine. He's hilarious. Hopefully you guys can meet him in the future. I was with him at an event in New Zealand about maybe 5 months ago, and I'll just tell you a little story about Manu. Manu's great, and I really thought the first time I met him that, you know, there was very little difference between the character he played on Arrow and Manu in real life, more so than most people I met. So he's a really fun guy to be around, and he, in the middle of the night, we were staying at the same hotel, we had a party, we crashed out, and then like 4 o'clock in the morning, someone starts banging on my door at the hotel. I like wake up and I'm like, you know, sleep and I answer the door in my underwear, and I'm like, Manu? And Manu's standing there. This, I can't remember what month it was, but the rugby like world championship finals, I guess, were happening that day. I don't watch rugby, I don't even know any of the rules of rugby, but Manu is standing outside my door in a bathrobe, and the New Zealand team, the All Blacks, are in the finals, so he has a scarf around his neck, and he's in his underwear with a bathrobe on and a bottle of champagne, and he's going, "Brother, it's time to watch the rugby game, brother." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "I got the lobby rented out with a TV, and my friends are coming over, it's time to watch the rugby game. I'm not going to take no for an answer." So yeah, man, we got in the middle of the night, and there was like 50 people down in the lobby, and we watched the Rugby World Championship final game, and the All Blacks won, and it was amazing, and yeah, so you never know what when that Manu's going to come knocking on your door. Does anybody have any questions? Hey.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. What about you?
Oh, great.
Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure, man. Thanks for having me.
It's amazing. You were a perfect hit as Floyd Olsen. You were perfect. And I have a question. What kind of process did you have to go through in order to be such a good Deadshot? Because you couldn't have any inspiration, because it was the first time that the character was shown on TV. So what did you do, and how did you proceed?
Yeah, that's a good question, man. The first thing is that I knew that on the show they were kind of borrowing from the comics, but not really ripping their characters right out of the pages of the comics. They wanted to do something sort of fresh and new for the TV show. So all I did was I kind of studied what happened to the character to make him the way he was, like with his history, what happened to him. Like every bad guy has a story of, you know, what sent them on down that road, down that path. So I wanted to figure out what happened to him, but I didn't really want to read a lot about where he ended up in the comics. So I just started going off the scripts that they gave me and the conversations that I had with the producers and the origin story. And then I just kind of started to think about characters like him that I was a fan of, like what were my favorite villains and stuff like that. And I just took like bits and pieces of different people, like there's really a lot of like professional wrestling. Like I was a big fan of that as a kid, and some of those bad guys, like Jake the Snake Roberts or Macho Man Randy Savage, these guys, they didn't really play nice with the good guys, and they didn't play nice with the bad guys either. They were kind of on their own team, and that's how this character was to me. So that's the way I approached it. And when I started to watch the performance back, I started to see little bits of other people like that I was a fan of, like even like Henry Rollins, the musician. I could see that there was a little bit of that in there because he was kind of like a rough, tough bad guy that I liked from music. Because I was a musician for a long time before I started acting, and I could even see like a little bit of the Fonz in the character because I was a big fan of the Fonz back in the day. But to play a bad guy, you just got to kind of make it real. You got to make it human. You got to find stuff that maybe you don't like about yourself that I had to look at, because Floyd is definitely that guy. He kind of hates himself, and that sort of frees him up to do whatever because he doesn't care if he gets killed. So there's a lot of power in that. So yeah, I had to go to some like little deep dark places in myself to find the guy, but also they wrote character really well and wrote him with a sense of humor. So I always had like those jokes and those things where I would make fun of everybody else in the scenes to kind of cover up the self-loathing, you know what I mean? But yeah, I love playing character. It's a very freeing character when you have when you can go to that place where he's capable of anything, you know. Then I can't wait to see what they write for him next. Thanks for the question, man. That was a good question.
Thank you.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I was wondering if you had any secret project you could tell us about. Well,
Ooh.
it won't be a secret anymore, but...
I have lots of really fun things that I'm about to do. What can I tell you that I won't get in trouble for telling you? Well, I grew this mustache for a role that I just did about 2 weeks ago for a movie called Suck It Up that we filmed in Canada. And I play a redneck named Dale who runs a female mud wrestling federation at a small town in the mountains in Canada. So that'll be out soon. Besides that, I've been training for like the last 3 months in LA with like professional fighters and stuff for this role that I have coming up where I'll be playing a ninja. But I can't tell you what it is. But yeah, you're gonna see me kick some ass.
I'm so excited about that. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Hi.
Hi.
First of all, thank you for coming. It's
Oh.
such a short notice.
No problem.
Secondly, I'm sorry, but I don't like the mustache.
Well, when I shave it off, I'm gonna mail it to you.
I'll give you my address. I'll just show it in a bit later.
Okay. Wait. In the comic books, Floyd Lawton always has a mustache.
I don't read comic books. Sorry. My question is, have you seen the movie Deadpool?
I did.
So I was wondering how Deadshot and Deadpool would get along.
I think that would be hilarious, for one. I think do they really get along with anyone?
No, which is why I
Yeah.
asked this question.
Yeah, I think it would be really funny for everybody else if they were, put together in a project, which would never happen because it's Marvel and DC, but yeah, I think that the sense of humor that they both share and the reckless abandon that both characters have and the skills that they have, I think that they would have a lot of respect. The thing about Floyd is that even though he doesn't really outwardly do it, in the history of his character, he accidentally killed his brother. So he kind of likes having a male companion in his life, like that brotherly figure. That's what Diggle is on Arrow for Floyd. He's sort of that big brother that he misses, you know what I mean? Even though he kind of pretends like he doesn't like him and he's always sticking it to him and doesn't understand why he would go about things the way he does, why he has such a strong conscience and why are your morals getting in the way of like your job all the time. Like, he doesn't understand him, but he has that sort of attraction to doing these missions with him because of that. And so it might be kind of the same thing with Deadpool. Like, they might get along better than you'd think.
And if they had a fight, who do you think it would?
Oh, Deadshot kick his ass. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Hi.
What was it like to play Deadshot in Earth? Did you like it?
Did I like playing Deadshot? Yeah, I mean, it definitely had its challenges because after he first showed up, he gets shot in the face with an arrow. So, first of all, I was like, okay, so I guess his character's dead. And then they just kept bringing him back and then just kept killing him. So, like, it's like show up and blow up, That's kind of...
Do you think Deadshot can come back?
I think that in the comic books, he is the hardest person to kill. So I would say, with confidence, that you've not seen the last of him. Okay, but besides the fact of having to show up and blow up all the time, he had to wear the eye patch always after he got shot with an arrow. So then every time I was doing any stunt scenes, I always had one eye covered. And now if you cover one of your eyes, you have no depth perception. So if I made you wear an eye patch right now and I came at you really quickly to shake your hand, you might miss it because it's just really hard to get that coordination without both eyes. So now they make me show up and fight everybody all the time with one eye covered, which is really, really difficult. So I like the challenge of it, but I've punched walls, I've hit the camera, I've hit David Ramsey, I've hit everything and like tripped over stuff. So yeah, it's crazy. It's a tough gig, but I really enjoy it.
And on Earth 2, did you like to play very little Earth 2 in the Flash?
Did I like playing the Earth 2 version? Yeah, I mean, that was so weird when I got that script, and I'm like, well, hang on a second, so he's a wimp, and he can't shoot anything? This is weird. People are gonna hate this version of the character. But then when I showed up and started doing it, playing him like a total loser, it was really fun for me. But I still thought everybody wouldn't like it because they wanted to see that, real tough guy. But again, like they gave me these comedic moments, and I really liked playing comedy. And I had so much fun with it, and that cast is really fun to act with, and they let you, more so than Arrow, at least that director that we had on that episode, she let us sort of play around a bit and make up our own lines sometimes and just screw with each other, so I had a lot of fun playing Earth 2 Floyd. Yeah, but they played it on the episode like maybe he lived, like, he got slammed into the beam, but in the script it was like, no, he did. So maybe Earth 2 Floyd is still alive, but I was like, are you kidding me? Again? I've died more on that show than anybody else. Well, no, I think Robbie and Mel and me had a conversation. I think we're tied for 3 deaths in that world. So.